Good morning, friends. I woke up and chose chaos. Let's see how many tops I can crochet in 24 hours straight. My name is Carolina. This is Carolina's Closet. Welcome to the channel. I knit in a knitting machine. I crochet by hand, and I like to sew as well. Just overall making clothing. So let's do this. I will say I'm starting pretty strong. These are my shorts that I made recently. I love them. I actually want to make pants with this pattern. It's gonna take a little longer. And in the meantime, I want a little matching set, okay? I want to make a top that matches my shorts. So we're starting very, very strong with a 2mm project. And then I have a corset, like under boob corset that I am a tester for. I would love to work on that in these 24 hours. And just some basic tops. If you've never been here, I do not like chunky yarn. I live in a hot climate. It's winter right now. This is me in winter. I don't like to use thick yarn because I just don't wear it. So I'm a pretty adamant thin yarn person. I have, however, been enjoying the large hook to thin yarn ratio, so that might bump up my numbers in this challenge. Let's see. Place your bets right now how many tops you think I can make in 24 hours. I'm aiming for infinity, so I have no limits. I think I can make 1,000,000 tops in 24 hours. But the little realistic side of my brain that is really small when it comes to crochet and knit items says that I can maybe crochet 3 tops in this time frame. I have been working with this pattern for a couple of weeks. I feel like actually months now. I just am a floor person. You know, when you're a person that just sits on the floor a lot. I love a floor, okay? I don't know why. The floor in my room, you might be able to see here in the corner, is this pattern. The wood has this pattern, and I really want to work a few items with this pattern. Like I want to make, as I said, the shorts. I want to make the top today, and I would love to make pants. I have a lot of yarn here for that. Pants and then a matching shirt. And I really want to start working with like releasing patterns. I think I can explain pretty well and make a pattern really well. Last night I made like a little sketch. I was lazy to like draw it with pencil, like color pencils and stuff. So I just did a very rough sketch. You might not be able to see it in this light, but I did calculate based on my hip size actually that I need 216 stitches. I was lazy to draw it last night before I went to sleep, but I might want to draw it for you to see. What I'm aiming for is just like a tank top kind of style, but with a button closure in the back. This is a very geometric pattern, like very square, but I'm thinking if I should do the armhole in a diagonal or just a square. I'm not always a fan of the square pattern, like the shape. I like this square like motif, but not so much just square, just like squared off clothing. It is a very popular with crochet because it's more straightforward. You don't have to calculate that much. But I feel like doing a more diagonal decrease armhole would be interesting. Oh, let me time myself. Just started a time. I want to crochet for 24 hours, so I am thinking that I will stop my timer every time I need to like eat or something like that. So this is going to be a very long 24 hours. So I was almost done with the row. I realized that I miscalculated. And this pattern is very exact, so I have to have an exact amount of chains, which is annoying. I'm short 6 stitches. 1, 2, Do I have to count it over again? I don't want to count it again. That's why people do free form made to measure, because it's better. It's just better, okay? 1, 2, 3, 70, 71, 70. Girls, we are an hour and 10 minutes in, and I'm concerned. This is all I have. I really hope I get to do at least 2 items this video, okay? But you guys saw I did have to frog once to get the exact count, and the beginning is always a little bit hard. So let's hope I go a little faster from now on. This roll, however, did take me 15 minutes. I think I'll sit on my bed and crochet there because I do get quite a good position to crochet my bed. Okay girls, we're 2 hours and 38 minutes in. This is what we have. The patterns, like you can see it. Now we have a big problem. I don't know what happened. Actually, I do know what happened. And what happened is I measured it wrong. But not wrong, it's just my theory is wrong, not the measurements themselves. So basically, as you can see, this is kind of big. As I mentioned, I wanted to do kind of like a tank top with a button band on the back. So I did have to make this panel that just goes around quite a lot smaller than my hip, because there's the snatch factor and there's the button bend as well. And I did calculate it a few centimeters smaller than my hip, but not enough. To make that idea, to make that piece, I would have to take out like quite a big chunk, a whole like 30-40 stitches smaller, and I'm not doing that. We're only going forwards, not backwards. We're on a time crunch. We're in the middle of a challenge, okay? So what I decided to do instead is I will be working on the shirt. I mentioned I want to make a few sets with this kind of pattern print situation. I think it's really nice. I already did want to make a shirt, so that's what I will be doing instead of the tank top with the back button. It's going to take longer than the tank top would have taken me. There are sleeves and there's a little collar also, but I did already want to do this. I just would have done it in another time. And this might be a one project video, but let's see. I keep doing this, by the way. I think it's because I learned how to make clothing and make patterns for sewing. With sewing, I always made the mistake of making things exactly my measurement, and they ended up a little bit tight on me, because with sewing you need to like take into consideration the seam allowance and just the way that the fabric sits on your body. And with crochet and knit, you're using yarn, and usually most things that you do with knit and crochet, they will stretch. That's the thing about, you know, the fiber arts and the knits and the crochet of it all. It stretches, and if it like conforms to the body better. So it is best, especially with things that are more tight fitting, to make it quite a bit smaller than your measurement, because it will stretch out. I keep forgetting that. I think I'm just scared to make things too small and then have to like redo them, that I end up making my stuff quite bigger. That goes for my knits as well. Even done on a machine, I will always make my patterns like to fit me, but like using my measurements like exactly, instead of making them a few centimeters smaller. And then I just end up with large clothing, which is okay. For a lot of people that would be best, because a lot of people prefer larger clothing. But I feel like for knits and crochets, I do like that they are tighter, because if they are loose, they just end up not giving enough support for me personally. So I just have to work on that and just be more aware and attentive when making patterns. But yeah, like you make things and you learn with your mistakes. We're almost 3 hours in our challenge, and we change our paths, but we're not going back. There is nothing wrong with frogging, by the way. I'm a big advocate of like frogging when you make something that you're just not gonna wear, or it's just wrong because you're not gonna wear it. So I'm a big advocate of like, I know it took time, but frog it and use the yarn to make something that you're actually gonna wear. But in this case, I did really want to make this shirt, so I'm just going to change paths instead of frogging. Okay friends, it's a while later, 4 hours and 38 minutes into it. I'm gonna pause it, and this is how much I have. I just finished one repetition of the squares. I will now change them. So these are the ones standing up and these are sideways. Now here I'm gonna have the sideways and here standing up. This is going to be, see, like, actually, now that I think about it, maybe this will work as a tank top. Yeah, because I measured based on my hip. I think for the tank top, it will have to be very much like cropped. Or I'll have to work some sort of increases and decreases to shape the piece. But I was looking forward to that because this is pretty much like a very square pattern. So that's the issue. Because I think, yeah, my calculations were right because I was measured based on my hip. I will do the shirt because I feel like the shirt's going to be nicer. And I'll think about the tank top more. Like, I'll just engineer it better in my head or in paper. I will have a little lunch break because I'm very hungry. And then we'll be back to it. I did procrastinate a little too much after lunch. So I do understand that this challenge is gonna be like 30 hours long because I'm pausing the clock every time I'm not crocheting, which is a little unhinged, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to sleep. Like, I want to just crochet. Hey friends. Oh my god, I haven't spoken in hours. I don't have a voice. 7 hours and 37 minutes. I'm pausing it. I have to leave for a sec for my roller skating class. This is what we have so far. I'm not sure if I think it's good progress or if I feel like I've not done enough. Like, I have not stopped crocheting, so it has to be enough. So give me a sec and I'll be back. Alright, so I went to my roller skate class. I did consider not going because of this challenge here, this crochet challenge. I obviously wanted to go 24 hours straight crocheting, and this is an interruption. But this is the last class before like winter break. It's interesting to do sports that are mainly, like, the school is mainly for kids. My class is adult, but there are pretty much only kids in the other classes. So we operate by the kids' schedules, which does mean breaks, like in the middle of the year. And it's interesting. But it would take, a few hours out of this challenge. Not out of it, but just like it would make it longer. Because it's like 4 hours between, getting dressed, driving there, having my 2-hour class, and then driving back. I always leave my friend at her house. Also getting home, there's like eating something and then showering, just like a normal routine. And yeah, that would take a few hours that I could get a lot of crochet in. Anyway, I went and it was fun, but I do think that maybe I should have stayed home crocheting because you know what happened? Once I drove my friend to her house, I kind of bumped against the sidewalk and I ripped my tire. It was fully just down. It was fully gone. I had never gone through this. I had never had a flat tire or anything like that. So I was very scared. I didn't know what to do. I was still to call insurance, but then I called my mom. And she was like, nah, they're gonna take too long. And she sent my stepfather to help me. He did, and it was interesting. As I said, I had never changed a tire. I was kind of learning it with him doing most of the work, but I was kind of learning it. I did hold a flashlight. No, but all jokes aside, I did,
put the cart up and then put the cart down. So I was crucial in this ordeal that I put myself into. But then I just drove home and took my shower, and I've been crocheting for a couple of hours now. And when I started this video, I truly did want to do a non-stop crochet for 24 hours, including my side quests like eating, peeing, and an exercise. But this situation wasn't expected, and now I'm thinking that I'll give myself a sleep break. I had my lunch break, I had my skate break, I had my flat tire break, and now I'll have a little sleep break from the crochet. I've been crocheting for a little over an hour now. I finished the 2 rows of square. I'm starting the 3rd one now. I screwed up. Oh no! Oh no! Can you see it? Over here. This is why you don't crochet when you're tired, girls. I'm sad now. Oh no, it wasn't the full roll. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. I've been doing this for a little over an hour, and apparently, when you're tired, you make more mistakes.
Good morning, girls. We stopped at 9 hours, 12 minutes last night, and I'll keep going till 24. Okay, this is what we have. I started a new row, maybe one more row of just this squares like this, which one more row is like 12 rows. It will be enough, but it will be cropped, so maybe I'll need 4 of these rows, so that's gonna be a lot. Where is my hook? Okay, hook is here on my project. How do you guys stop crocheting for the night? Because I just always just pull a very long piece, especially with cotton, and then I just, when I'm ready to start again next day, I just put it back in and I just pull it. Like, I don't stitch mark or anything like this. But then again, I'm just doing a double crochet. Maybe if I was doing a more intricate stitch, I would use a stitch marker. I was working recently with like a silky yarn, and I did use a stitch marker then, but I mostly use cotton, so this is always enough. Like, it really is always enough. I never really use stitches. 12 hours and 16 minutes, and this is what I have. Woo! Let me take this off to see. This is going to be the situation, right? It's gonna come here. Now I'll go like here on the back. I will just sort of start the armhole. I think this will be enough. Let me just look in the mirror. No, yeah, I'm actually not going to go. I'm not gonna do another row. I could. It would be like here, I guess, if I did another row of the squares. I cannot go like grow it down. I mean, I can, but it won't look perfect because I started with hem in the single crochet, so I can preferably only go up. But I think this is gonna be good. It's gonna be cropped, but the shorts are kind of high-waisted. It's just a cropped version. It's not that short. So I think I'm gonna do this, and now I'm gonna start doing, actually I'm gonna eat. But after this, after I eat, I will come back and I'll do the armholes. Remember like a few minutes ago when I told you that I don't like stitch markers because I just don't bother, and I just pull a big string and then I leave it like that? Well, that doesn't stand for when I need to move it around and measure it against my body, because I did lose a few stitches when I was measuring it. And like, I'm feeling so cold. I know that some of you might live in like very cold places. I don't. So we don't have heating. So the temperature that it's outside is worse inside because it's colder. Because now it's 14 Celsius. I know that for some that might even be summer. Not here. This is cold. It's cold in, it's cold out. Well, anyway, 12 hours, 16 minutes. I'll give hourly updates. Started it. Strawberry wine. You guys have seen, like, I have a guitar. I don't know how to play it. I know one song, and I would like to play more. I'd have to set some time aside every week to just learn, because it's the kind of thing that you just need to practice, right? Do you guys play any instruments? If so, when do you make time to practice? But then, if I learn how to play, it would be nice to be able to sing, and that I can't do. And I feel like I can't really learn that because my voice is not made for singing. It's just, like, it just isn't. I need to find someone to sing for me while I play. I'm just looking at my guitar, like, from here. That's why it's on my mind. I switched locations because it's really cold. 13 hours, and I have almost finished this part here. This. 14 hours, 1 minute, and I cut my yarn. I tried to shape it here. It's alright, but if I do end up making a second one to make it into a pattern, I would have to fix this because it's not perfect. I just did it. I didn't properly calculate, so there are a few mistakes that I would have to tackle. I'll do the other side just like this one over here. Hi girls, we are almost 16 hours in, and this is what we have. The two front parts here, and can you see it? I just started the back. It's gonna be like this, right? And since and by we I mean me, I changed this challenge to a cumulative 24-hour challenge instead of a straight 24-hour challenge because I couldn't stay awake last night. I will be heading to the gym real quick, and then I'll be back for a night shift. Just give me 1 second. It's really cold.
É muito alto, faz assim pra mim. E a gente vê todo daqui, nossa, é pouco. Muito bom isso!
It is not early in the night. This is already a multi-day project, so there is no point in me pulling in an all-nighter. But I'll stay a few more hours here doing this. Let's continue. It does upset me that this will probably be a one project video, and I want it to be at least 3. But I did go for the tiny hook, tiny yarn, and bigger than I anticipated project. This was going to be like a little tank top, and now it's a shirt, so I'll spend a few hours in the sleeves.
So in short, it seems there are 2 major problems to be overcome when growing plants on Mars. The first is the need for...
Good morning, friends. So last night I went to sleep right after reaching 17 hours of crochet. I wanted to stay longer, but I was just so tired. And then I woke up this morning and I just went straight to, actually, I had breakfast and then I went straight to crocheting. Crochet for a couple of hours. We are now almost at 19 hours and I have like a little top. It's like a little vest thing. I'm very pleased with it, although I will need to, on a second version, think better about this decreases here. This is what this first version is all about, learning and improving. So right now, if I was like following the first plan, which was to make a tank top, I feel like I would be almost done and proceeding to maybe be able to do one little extra top. Remember, this is a how many tops I can make in 24 hours video. But since I changed my plans and I'm doing a shirt, I will now proceed to make the sleeves. I sat down for a little bit and was doing some calculations because the annoying part of this pattern is that I really do need to have an even number of squares when it goes around. That was the thing with these shorts. A lot of people have been really enjoying the flare, and originally I didn't really want to do this much of a flare, but I have to use an even number of squares so that you don't have like two of the same squares side by side, right? And I have to be able to fit it up against my hip and I have quite a big ass, so this is why it's so big. I actually can do a smaller version. That's what I'm gonna do with this one here. I already started. The way that I did the armhole, I would have an even amount, so that's not perfect. So I was calculating how many decreases I have to do in the first row so that I have the exact amount of stitches for 4 squares, not 5. Because right now we're working with 5 spaces and it's quite loose. So I think it's okay if I decrease quite a bit to make that amount of squares. We're 19 hours in pretty much. Let's continue. Just turned 20 hours. I am a couple of rows in the sleeve. Of course, the first one was more time consuming because there were a lot of decreases. But now I'm in the pattern, so it's going faster a little bit. I just finished the yarn third skein. The first one that I used was already, I had started it when I did the short, so it's not 2 full skeins. But yeah, that's it. It's my yarn. It's a Brazilian brand. It's just 100% cotton. Just keep going, guys. Just keep going. 4 more hours to go. I'll finish this today, finally. I finished the sleeves in a little over an hour. Actually, I think almost 2 hours. And I was almost done with the second sleeve when I had to leave for the gym. And when I got back, I had a little dinner and I just started getting sick. So it was really cold and I walked like half an hour to my gym. So I feel like I got a lot of wind in me and that made my nose start like leaking. I don't know how to say that, but like I was just feeling a little ill. So I took a couple of anti-allergics and that just like knocked me out. So I couldn't even finish my crochet. I'm trying to stop leaking from my nose to continue my top. I have 45 minutes left. I just took an anti-allergic and I'm just like sleeping. I'm literally sleeping. I'm not standing up, I'm sitting. I'm sleeping, sitting. I was so excited to finish it. Need a little over 24 hours to fully finish it. Obviously that's not what I wanted to happen. I wanted to do several tops, but I think I'll need to sleep because I'm leaking from my nose. I don't want to leak into my new top. And then on the next day, I couldn't really work on it, but in the afternoon, I did finish the sleeve, and then I started working on the button band, which is like the next step to finish the shirt. And this is where we're at. You guys will allow me to do 3 more stitches, right? Like 3 more stitches. That's all I need. Don't be mad at me. Let's go. And we're not done, but let me show you what 24-hour crochet does. Guys, this is what 24 hours of crochet got me. I think it's decent. I'm sure some people are faster. I don't think I'm the fastest crocheter on the earth. I've been crocheting every day for the past couple of months, so I think I've been getting better. This is it. I still have to finish this button band. I just finished 2 rows of double crochet, and I just learned today how to do stacked double crochet. No, not stacked, linked double crochet, and I think it's looking really nice. So now I think I'm gonna do a slip stitch row, skipping where I'm going to put the buttons, and then 2 more linked double crochet rows, and I'm gonna do just 4 linked double crochet rows here on the side, and I still have to do the pre-color and then the color. I don't know how to call the pre-color, but I'm doing the pre-color and the color. So I'll do that, and we'll finish this video with a fully finished little top, okay? Look at the buttons that I want to use. They're so cute. I don't know if I should do just the whites, because this shade of orange is like exact match, or if I should just mix and match them, one of each, like this. I have a poll on Instagram. Obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, it has been decided, but I don't know, in case you want to help out with future projects, I've been loving to ask on Instagram what people think, and then people answer. So that's nice. Hi girls, so I finished my shirt. I am so happy. So it did take me like 6 more hours, I guess. I stopped the clock, and the next day I actually went to a craft fair with my mom, and I got to crochet on the car, which I never get to do because I'm always driving. So I was crocheting on the car. I didn't really start the timer again, so I just stopped with the timer, but it was roughly around like an hour and a half for each of the plackets. And then I did the collar, which took me a long time, but I did discover through, I think, TikTok, I don't know, the concept of linked double crochet, and then I myself like try to do the same concept for a half double crochet and a treble crochet. So I did linked treble crochets, linked half double crochets, and I love them. I've been obsessed with using this technique. I used it on the placket, I used it on the thing before the collar, I used it on the collar, and I love it. I am so very pleased with this. There are a few kinks that I would have to resolve before making it a pattern for people to use. Let me just show you the back for you guys. I did add a buttonhole and a button here on the front, but that is something that it's a mistake because it has to go a little bit more forward for it to make sense. I can't close it because it strangles me, and I don't like anything close to my neck, so I'm not gonna wear that. On a second version, I will work better with this, so that if you want to wear it closed, you would be able to do that. I'll try it on with the shorts and have it here on screen for you to see, because it was made with, the set in mind. But I am very, very pleased. The second version that I do, I want to make it oversized, because you guys remember I started this video wanting to make just a simple top because I wanted to make more tops that weren't related to this print. This is just something that I've been working on for a couple of months and I want to develop. Like, while making this, I realized that I don't really know if I want to make that like a top version that is a little bit more snatched and so, but I did draw a version with not this motif, but just the vertical lines. Look, I hope you can see it. This one here. Can you see it? I would make it like a tank top, but just goes down the back, and the way that you regulate it is like a big bow that's top. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I think I'll work on that for another version of these motifs that I've been liking to do. Those like geometrical fillet crochet inspired situation. I don't know how to call these. Unfortunately, this is a completely different video from what I intended. Actually, I have a lot of footage from a trip that I've recently been to, and involves a lot of DIYs to go to this trip, like clothing that I made to wear, and that is like a big project that I have to like take my time to edit. And because I have that, I still have to finish some things for that. I thought I would do just a quick little video and do like a 24-hour challenge where I would make some simple tops, like quick and easy tops. That was what you were supposed to be watching, but the path changed throughout the video and I just ended up doing this one top throughout this whole video. It did take me like 30 hours instead of 24, but this was what I was going to do. So that I wanted to do like 4 tops in this video. That was like my goal with the 24-hour challenge. But you guys saw I decided to go to my roller skating, ripped my tire, had to fix that, and then I was tired, and that kind of whole concept was just like thrown out of the window, or like blew out of my tire. I don't know what I want to say. But I did do something really fun, which is this top, and I'm very pleased with it. I'm very, very happy with the result. If you're interested in that journey, consider subscribing to this channel. Consider liking the video and comment down below whatever you want to comment down below about this journey, about my ideas, about your crafts. What have you done while you watched this video? Was it fun? Did you work out? Did you have to frog anything? Let me know. I have my social media here on screen. While working on this project, I did do a few polls on Instagram asking about like the length, if I should make it longer, if I should make the sleeves longer, what buttons should I go for, which by the way, people voted on the orange and white combination for the buttons, but I decided to go with just the white because the shade of the orange button is a little bit darker than this one, and even with it being darker, it doesn't really show, so you can barely see it. And the shade of the polka dots in the white one is the exact shade of the orange yarn, and it's way more just visible, so I just chose against my poll to do this one. But everything else was voted, like people voted for me to keep it cropped, people voted for me to keep the sleeves short, so I did everything as people suggested except for the buttons. But it was really fun to have people talk with me throughout this process, so if you like being involved in the building of things like this, you can follow me on Instagram for that. I would say follow me on TikTok, but TikTok doesn't like me and my videos get no views there, so I don't know, follow me if you want, but I might just stop posting there, I don't know. My next couple of videos will be some DIY vacation related, and I'll show a little bit about my trip because it was a really fun trip. I have a lot of things planned for after that, and yeah, I mainly do DIY clothing things, crochet, knit, sew. I want to make some home decor stuff that I've been planning to do, but I just have not gotten around to it. But that is something that I might bring here maybe someday eventually. And this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you hopefully very soon.